guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to do like a quick little tutorial type video. I am actually getting ready to go on a date, so I figured I could just hit the record button while I was getting ready. Me and Miles were just gonna head into Houston, and we're gonna get some dinner and some dessert probably somewhere. And so I'm not really doing anything too flashy or anything. I wanted to do a little tutorial for y'all while I was doing my makeup anyways, because I don't really wear makeup a lot. It's actually very rare that I put on a face of makeup if I'm not filming. So I just figured I would sit down and hit the record button and just kind of get ready with y'all. So I think I'm going to be using this palette again. I know I just did a video on this palette, but I really want to play with it some more. I'm gonna do more of a neutral toned down look, more of a look that I'm used to doing. I like a lot of warm tone looks, and I just have so much inspiration from this palette as far as warm looks go, because the majority of it is pretty freaking warm. I'm just gonna film me getting ready for my date. I hope y'all enjoy this video. So I'm gonna kind of talk through this like I normally do with tutorial videos. I haven't done a lot of tutorial videos, but so as y'all know, I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Enigma. I don't think I'll ever use a different eye primer. I love this one so much, and it just does so much justice for me. And as I said in my video about this palette, there is no light shade in it to set your eyes with, so I'm actually just gonna use some of my face powder. This is the L'Oreal Proglow Infallible Longwear Demi Glow Finish Powder. I've been really digging the Proglow line from L'Oreal because, as y'all know, I say it in every video, I feel like I have really dry skin, especially right now, and it's winter and my skin is suffering so badly. I feel like this powder doesn't make you look too matte or cakey or anything, and I've noticed that it doesn't really settle into my little fine lines and creases under my eyes and around my smile lines, and I really like it for that reason. I just feel like it gives me a very natural finish on my face. It doesn't look like I'm wearing a crap ton of makeup, and I really do like that about it. Please ignore the little monster on my face right here. He's been pretty gnarly to me. He hasn't been cooperating with me very well at all, so just ignore that guy. The first step I'm going to take with this eye look is I'm going to go into this shade right here. It's kind of peachy orangey nude, and I'm just going to put that all over my crease and use that as my transition color. I feel like this is going to end up being my like go-to transition color because it's just everything that I love in a crease shade. So I'm just gonna kind of loosely start putting that in my crease and kind of start building it up. So I'm sure you just watched that. That was very effortless, and I already have like such a good laydown. I'm not gonna fast forward that just because of how nice that was. Let me just zoom you in for a second. That just laid down so nicely and so quickly. I feel like I'm going to be obsessed with this color for a crease shade. I'll keep y'all kind of zoomed in so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And let me just throw that on the other eye. Hopefully the other eye is just as easy. I don't know what it is about my left eye. I just have such a hard time getting it to like hold pigment, and I've heard of this being an issue for other people. If y'all have any suggestions on how to deal with that, I'm very much open to suggestion, because I hate this outer corner, just hates pigment. It just doesn't want any color in it. Okay, I love this color. This color is beautiful. I am obsessed, and I need to move on. Next, I'm going to take this shade right here. It's really nice and orangey, and it's deeper than the shade that I just used, and I'm going to kind of deepen up my crease a little bit with it. I am using a Morphe PK36. I feel like I've been using a lot of weird Morphe brushes lately. The one that I just used for my crease color is the R40. That's not weird. That's part of the Rose Gold collection. But in my last video, I used this brush, and then in this video I'm using this brush, and they're both Morphe brushes. I get the Morphe Me subscription, and I don't know if any of y'all do that. I like it a lot. I've gotten tons of brushes, and I've stopped buying brushes from like anywhere else just because I get 4 to 6 brushes every month, and they're Morphe, and I really like Morphe and their brushes. They're really good quality. I don't know what the availability is on these online, but I do get them through that subscription service. So I kind of want to chat with y'all a little bit. I'm still fairly new to YouTube, and y'all probably don't really know a lot about me because I don't really talk about myself a lot in my videos. My name is Kristen and I go by Kristen Leanne. I don't really care for my last name, and so I go by my first and my middle name. So that's the story behind my name that you see. I know that there is already a famous makeup YouTuber and her name is also Kristen Leanne, and I very much admire her. She is one of my favorite YouTubers. I love watching her. I use her hair dye. Whenever my hair is any kind of color that isn't natural, I'm using her hair dye. So yeah, my name is Kristen Leanne and I'm about to turn 21 years old. I'm an Aquarius. My birthday is on February 6th. I work at a little waffle shop in my local hometown. I just got promoted to general manager there, which is a position that has never existed. It's a very small business. We have only been alive for a little over 5.5 years, and I have been there for almost 4 years. In March will be my 4-year anniversary there. It is actually the only job that I've ever had, and I've just been steady working my way up there, and I really enjoy it. I'm about to finish school. I will have a business degree after this semester. I'm a business major. I still haven't decided quite what I want to do with my life. Being a YouTuber is kind of the dream, but you know, that's not gonna pay the bills if it ever does for a while. So I have this other job. I work there pretty much full time and I love it there. The people are great, my employees are great, my bosses are great, and it's just a great place. I love it a lot. Y'all have met, I think y'all met both of my dogs. I have 2 mini schnauzers named Bella and JJ, and they are just the most precious things on the planet. I live at home with my mom and my stepdad. Oh, by the way, I'm about to use this shade on my eyelid. But yeah, I live at home with my mom and my stepdad. I have a lot of siblings, but I only have one biological sister. I have a half-sister and a stepsister and a stepbrother. They are all older than me. I am the baby of the family. I have lived in Houston my entire life and I love my city. And I love Texas a lot, except for the weather. I hate the heat, but you know, it's just what you gotta deal with when you're living here. I'm used to it. I've dealt with it my whole life. I know how to deal with it. What I don't know how to deal with is all this freaking cold weather that we've been having, because I'm not used to it, and no one in Texas is used to it. But those are a few like quick facts about me. Y'all know I have a boyfriend named Miles, and my best friend's name is Roxy, and I love them both with all of my heart. I have a really amazing relationship with my mom. We're really, really close. My dad isn't really in my life, and that's okay. I graduated in 2015. I was a band kid. I played the flute and I did marching band for all 4 years of high school. I had been in band since I was in 6th grade. So from age 11 to age 18, I was a band geek, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Shout out to all my fellow band geeks. It's all good. I listen to a lot of classic rock. I actually really, really like classic rock music. It's my favorite genre. I do listen to country and some pop music, but I don't listen to modern country. I listen to like older country, like 2010 and earlier, because that's the country music that I was raised on, and I think new country is kind of trash. No offense to anyone. Not my cup of tea. My favorite band is Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like 100% hands down favorite band is Red Hot Chili Peppers. I actually got to see them in 2017, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, in January of 2017. And it was wonderful. I was way up in the nosebleed section, but oh my god, I loved every second of that concert. It was great. Another one of my favorite bands is Metallica, and I also got to see them this year in June. Not this year, it's 2018, and I keep forgetting that it's 2018. So I saw them back in June, and I had been waiting for that concert for about 10 years. It had been 10 years since they had come to Houston. I spent way too much money on those concert tickets, but it was so worth it. I started wearing makeup when I was 11. When I started middle school, my mom was like, hey, do you want to start wearing makeup? And I was like, that sounds cool. And so she took me to like Walmart and we bought a bunch of like Maybelline makeup. And so all throughout middle school and into high school, that's what I started. I kind of want to do one of those videos where you do the makeup that you used to do, like your high school makeup or what have you, because I just feel like it'd be a lot of fun, but I don't think I have any pictures of that documented really. I know of a very specific look that I used to do in high school that's really, really embarrassing, but you know, that's the point of those kind of videos, is to laugh at your own embarrassment, right? Oh, I completely forgot to mention, I started using a different color in this palette. I started using this one right here to kind of deepen everything up on the outer corners, and I'm really liking this sunset kind of thing I've got going on my eyeballs. Sometimes my hick accent likes to come out. I come from a family of rednecks. I think I'm done with the top of my eyes. I am going to throw some stuff on my eyebrows because they need some love. I finally got a new Anastasia brow wiz. It has been for freaking ever, so I'm gonna use that on my eyebrows. I have mine in the shade dark brown. Some other artists that I do like, in addition to Metallica and Red Hot Chili Peppers, is Led Zeppelin. They are probably one of my favorite classic rock artists. Metallica is classic metal, just differentiating that real quick. I love Italian food. It is my favorite kind of food. Just the combinations that you can make with tomato or Alfredo sauces and pasta is beautiful, and it's a great thing, and just pasta is a beautiful thing, and I really love Italian food. I like to think of myself as a creative person. I do enjoy painting. I use acrylic paints a lot, but you know, sometimes setting up an entire paint setup can be a lot of work, and so sometimes I like to use makeup as my creative outlet. I actually haven't painted in a hot minute. Just doing makeup is sometimes so much easier for me because it's something that I'm doing anyways, and so I might as well get creative and have fun with it. And I really love having that available to me. I love using makeup as a form of creative release, and I think it's pretty dope that makeup can do that for someone. So yeah, like I said at the beginning of this video, when I sat down, I didn't really have anything planned. I just knew that I wanted to film, and I figured, why not this one? And I figured I could turn it into a kind of chatty get ready with me, but the thing is I've never done this before. Sitting down and talking about myself rather than makeup products is kind of a weird thing for me, so please forgive my awkwardness if there is any. I do appreciate your patience with me. YouTube for me has been a constant learning experience. I've only been doing this for about a year and a half off and on. If you've followed me from the beginning, you know that. But this has all been a huge learning experience, and it's a lot of fun for me. I really do enjoy sitting in front of a camera and just kind of talking to no one, but just talking just about anything, because if you're watching the video, you're here for a reason and you'll listen to me, and I think that's pretty cool. Unless you're not listening to me, then whatever. If you're just here for the cool look on my eyes, then I'm sorry, and you can fast forward this, I guess. But I don't know, I just wanted to come on and start talking to y'all and just kind of start forming a relationship with the very few followers that I do have. I really enjoyed this primer when I used it in my last video. This is the BECCA First Light Priming Filter. I really loved what this did to my skin. My skin just looked so luminous and like healthy and glowy. It's just so nice, and I think I'm gonna have to buy a full bottle of this because I really liked what it did for my skin. I have heard people talk about this a million times, and I just never tried it out for myself until my last video, and I'm on this bandwagon. I'm here for this, and I only have a little bit in this tiny little tube, and I don't want to use it all, but I just like want this all over my face 24/7. And I actually want to try using this primer with a different foundation than I did in my last video. So I'm going to use the Tarte Hybrid Gel Foundation. This is in the shade Fair Beige. I really enjoy this foundation. I just do believe that it can be a little drying on my skin. I know it's supposed to be hydrating. It's a gel foundation, but my skin is that dry. And I'm actually going to spray some of the Hangover X primer onto my face as well because it's also very hydrating and I really enjoy it. And I'm gonna pat that into my skin. So I'm gonna use this little Eco Tools brush to spread the foundation onto my face. And with this foundation, because I do feel it is a little bit more drying on my skin, I work in sections. I don't apply it all at once. And I'm just gonna buff that in. And for concealer, I'm going to be using this concealer. This is the TooFaced Born This Way concealer. I think I've been using this concealer for well over a year now. I don't like using any other concealer anymore because I just love this one so much. It's very lightweight and hydrating. I really should use a different powder for my under eye, because I don't know if you see that, it does darken my under eyes a little bit. But then I justify it by the fact that whenever I put the powder all over my face, it blends in with the rest of my face, so, and And speaking of setting the rest of my face, I'm gonna do that. Alright, so I have my face on. I think I want to try this guy out again. I really enjoyed how this looked in my last video. This is the REALHER Be Fearless, Be Limitless little blush kit palette thing. And I really liked this as a bronzer. And so I'm going to try it out again. And I'm going to use this little Morphe R14 brush for it. I'm just going to swirl my brush in there, tap off the usual. So it is a little red, so I am going to add a different bronzer to it, but I am going to finish up with this one just so that all of it's the same color on my face. Lightly applied, it doesn't look that red, but a little bit of a heavier application makes that red tone kind of push through. And so just be careful with it if you are using it as a bronzer. I actually don't think it's meant to be used as a bronzer, but you know, whatever. I'm living my life. I'm going to go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I'm not sure which butter bronzer I have. I depotted it because I hated the packaging component that it came in because it was so big and bulky and it drove me crazy. And so I depotted it and I keep it in a little magnetic palette. But I do really like the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm sorry that I don't know which one I use. It's probably one of the original ones. And there is my bronzer. I'm gonna throw on a tad bit of blush. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did with this palette before. I'm going to take the shade Fearless right here. The bronzer color that I was using is called Unstoppable, and I'm just gonna tap into it a little bit and just lightly on the apples of my cheeks. I don't like a ton of blush because I feel like too much is too much, and so I like to apply it with a very light hand, very carefully, and then I blend it out with my powder brush that I'm going to do now, and I just kind of blend it out around the edges, not so much where I actually applied it, just to kind of blend it into my face a little bit better. Same thing with the bronzer, and that's my face. And so on this Morphe M411 brush, I'm going to go in with this shade right here. That was the second shade that I used in my crease, and I'm going to start building that up on my lower lash line. I feel like these shadows just blend out really nicely. I am obsessed with this palette. It's official. I've only used it twice and I'm already in love. And I think it's definitely going to be one of my go-to palettes from here on out. I'll try not to use it too much, but I do really, really enjoy it. So what I've been using for a mirror is obviously it's a BECCA Compact. It is the Shimmering Skin Perfector Mineral Blush in Champagne Split. And the colors are Flower Child and Champagne Pop. And I'm going to use Champagne Pop on my inner corners and kind of bring it up just ever so slightly onto my lid. And I'm going to use the brush that came in, I believe, the Subculture palette. One of the Anastasia palettes is the little dual-ended brush. I love using this side for inner corner, and it applies really well. It's a nice size. It's all good things. So I'm going to throw Champagne Pop in my inner corner. Alright, I really, really like how that looks. And I'm going to call it quits for eyeshadow. I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics No Tug eyeliner in my waterline. And I'm not going to do winged liner because I never do winged liner, but I am going to go ahead and throw on some mascara. I'm going to be using, again, the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise mascara. For my lips, I'm pretty sure this is my favorite lip color now. This is the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Catching Feels. And let me tell you, I caught feels for this lipstick. This was one of the trios that you can buy at Sephora. I think they had 2 or 3 different ones, but this was in one of them. And I bought the entire trio for this shade, for just this shade, because I liked it that much. And lastly, I am going to set my face with the Hangover X priming spray. Alright guys, so this is the completed look. This is my final form. I am about to leave. I should have left about 15 minutes ago, but it's fine, whatever. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble, and if you didn't enjoy listening to me ramble, I'm sorry, don't watch this video again. And if you do enjoy this video, please let me know how you feel about it, let me know your exact thoughts and whatnot. Yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks guys.